everyone, and welcome to today's Skills Hub session. Thank you all for taking the time to join us. And as you know, that this week is all about Mental Health Week as well. It is a time for us to reflect on the importance of well-being, especially as students balancing studies, life, and everything in between. So, with exams approaching quickly, it's completely normal to feel stress, anxiety, and pressure. That's why exactly today, it's a perfect time for us to listen to this webinar. And it is now my pleasure to introduce to you our presenter, Dr. MD Arafat Mahmud, who will be guiding us through the strategies on managing exam stress, anxiety, and performance pressure. Dr. Arafat?
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you for the kind introduction. Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. So those who don't know me, I am Arafat. I am a lecturer at IT department. And today I'm going to discuss about and sharing my experience, how to manage exam stress, anxiety, and performance pressure. So whenever you think about this cover page, that is the cover page for your final exam, it is very normal to get anxious, to think about like, well, I have to be in a room for 2 hours and there will be invigilators roaming around me and I don't have any help. I can't get any help from ChatGPT. I can't get help from any of my peers. That is the concept of exam, right? So definitely it can make you stressed. It can make you anxious and you can feel the pressure. Exams are part and parcel of our academic life. That's why it is important that we manage the stress in relation to these exams. And I would like to stress today, if we would like to manage the exam stress, it's not only about managing the preparatory week, like week 13, when we have a week fully dedicated for exam preparation. If we only take a preparation for the exam on that preparatory week, we are always going to be stressed. So what I want to focus in this presentation session is that if we want to manage stress for the exam, we have to plan throughout the semester. That actually makes us ready for handling this pressure. So this session will focus on two things: why the stress management matters, and I would like to share some practical strategies throughout the semester that the students can adopt to manage this pressure well, so that our condition is not like this cartoon here who is very stressed about the exam. Okay, so first I would like to discuss why managing exam stress is so important. Just think about a normal situation. When we are stressed, we cannot actually make our decision judiciously. We lose our concentration. If I am panicking, if my body is shaking, I am sweating, I cannot make any good decisions. So when we face the exam, definitely we need to solve a problem. Maybe it can be a case study, maybe it can be a mathematical problem. So we need to put our full concentration on the problems that have been presented on the question. But if we cannot focus, if we cannot put our concentration, if our memory retention doesn't work, then definitely we cannot make good decisions. On the other hand, if we do not take good preparation throughout the semester, then definitely we get anxious as the exam closes. That can affect our mental health being. We can feel the burnout, we can get fatigued, and definitely it can translate to lower academic performance. Another important thing it can do is it can lower our confidence. Like suppose if we get very anxious during any exam, when we finish our study, when we want to go for a job interview, we always feel like whenever we are being assessed, we get anxious and that lowers our confidence. So that is not a good thing for like long term. So definitely we need to manage this stress so that we can focus, we can increase our focus, we can enhance our decision-making ability in a situation when we are being assessed, be it an exam, be it a job interview. And obviously, if we can make good decisions during these assessments, we can definitely improve our academic performance. That's why it's so important we manage the stress. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, that I would like to say managing exam stress is a continuous process, and we need to adopt a proper planning throughout the semester. It's not about week 13 that we call preparatory week for like when we have a dedicated week when we prepare for the exam. Obviously, that's an important stage. I'm not saying that's not an important phase, but to manage stress, we need to plan throughout the semester. So I have categorized these stages in 4 phases. The first one I would like to say pre-exam. That is, I am referring to from week 1 to week 12 throughout the semester. Exam preparation, this phase I would like to refer the preparatory week. That means the week 13. Exam performance, when the student is actually giving the exam, that's a very important stage as well. Like you need to make good decisions at that time. So if you are stressed, you cannot actually do good performance. So exam performance is a key stage as well, like in terms of managing exam stress. Interestingly, I would also like to say the post exam stage is very, very important. Very often students will have 3 or 4 subjects, like they will enroll in 3 or 4 subjects in a semester. So for a particular reason, if your exam was not quite good, maybe your preparation was not that good, that may not be the justification for ruining your subsequent exams. If you are stressed too much about how you did in a particular exam, you might be ruining your subsequent exam where you might have better preparation. So it's important to manage the stress in the post-exam stage as well. So that's why I would like to discuss about all these key 4 stages in my presentation today. Okay, so the first one is the pre-exam stage. As I said, I referred to week 1 to week 12 for our institute. So that is the time for building foundation. You can see here, I have created a cartoon with Gemini. This guy is very, very relaxed. He is thinking, why study now? Exam preparation week is there. Week 13 is there. I will prepare everything on that week. So for the time being, I can do gaming. I can do whatever I want. I can binge in Netflix. But that will just make you stressed during the preparatory week when the exam closes. So it is very important that you attend and engage in all classes, because whenever a lecturer delivers a lecture, they will actually explain the core concepts. If you want to prepare by yourself, then you might find it difficult to understand the topics by yourself. And if you do not make a consistent study habits, you will have a lot of backlogs that you cannot clear maybe in week 13. So it's very important to avoid the last minute learning culture. Like this guy, he is not our role model, obviously. Um, I'm not saying you should not game, you should not do daily activities, obviously. But dedicate some time every week for studying. Obviously, we will all have our recreational activity. We'll go out, we'll have gaming, all the activities that attract us. But we need to dedicate a particular time during this week 1 to week 12 so that we keep up with the study, whatever the lecturer is covering. That is very, very important, because if we keep it up, then we will get less stressed on week 13 when the exam really, really closes. Another important concept I would like to say is focus on understanding the concepts, not memorization. Most of the final exam questions will be basically case study or scenario based, regardless of the discipline, be it social work, be it business or IT. There could be a mathematical problem. There could be a case study or scenario. If you do not understand the concept, definitely you cannot make good answers and you will feel stressed. Like, where is this question coming from? The lecturer never told about it. It's just because you actually did not understand the concept. You just merely committed to memorization. So it is very important that you understand the concept. Every week, whatever the lecturer is covering, you keep up with it. Now, for developing your understanding, I actually have a suggestion based on my experience in student life. like how you do effective study practice. I think this technique actually helped me a lot during my student life, and I would like to suggest this one to all the students. I think this can be very, very effective. Every week, whatever the lecturer is covering, whatever topic they are covering, please make a personal note based on your understanding. You can draw your own diagram, you can put your summary, you can put an example. If this is a very big topic, break it into smaller sections. What it does is it tells you what concepts you are not understanding, because if you can write a concept in your own words, that means you can actually explain that thing to other people. So if you make these notes, that really develops your understanding. And today I'm going to show you some note taking methods, and it will be like quite generic. Like I know there are students from different disciplines, so it will be quite generic, and it will give specific suggestions as well, like for STEM discipline, for social work or business, what kind of note-taking method is actually effective for different disciplines. But the main point here is, if you develop your notes, then you actually develop your understanding. And on week 13, you can open that notebook and you will see it will give you much easier understanding compared to if you just open the lecture notes, because these notes were developed by you, so you will have better understanding. So let's have a look at this note-taking methods video, where they actually suggest different note-making methods for different disciplines. So let's have a look at this video.
What's the best way to take notes? There are lots of different note-taking methods, but some are better than others. The best one for you might depend on what you're studying, how you like to learn, and even how your teacher teaches. So, here's a look at 3 of the best note-taking methods for students, how to use each one, and when it's a good idea, or not, to use them. Number 1. The outline method. The outline method is ideal for when you need to jot down information quickly, like during lectures or meetings. All you have to do is add each main point as a bullet point and add supporting points underneath, indented. The final product should be visually very clear and easy to skim. Outline notes allow you to easily understand parent topics at a glance alongside the relevant information for each point. When should you not use this method? If you're taking notes that require a lot of diagrams and charts, you may find the outline method too structured and takes up too much space on the page to allow for visuals. If you're studying a STEM subject like math or chemistry, which requires relatively fewer words, this is a great straightforward note-taking method for you. Number 2, the boxing method. If you're the type to enjoy decorating your notes or taking the time to create new notes to summarize your thoughts, the boxing method could be for you. The boxing method is a highly visual note-taking method. It gives you an at-a-glance overview of your topic. Each section or subtopic of your notes will live in its own labeled box. Put a key point at the top, then elaborate within the box. This method is best for when you're reorganizing information to understand a topic better. For example, to revise. It's not the best choice for taking notes on the spot, however, and need to capture information quickly. We recommend this note-taking method if you're studying something like history, literature, philosophy, or when there are high-level concepts you need to summarize. Number 3, the Cornell note-taking method. The Cornell note-taking method is our favorite. It's the best note-taking method for active learning and retaining information. First, you'll want to divide your page into 4 sections like so. All notes go into the main note-taking column. The left column is for comments, questions, or hints about the actual notes. After you're finished jotting everything down, summarize the main ideas of the page in the section at the bottom. The best part is that many people already remember and digest the information while they write a summary like this. Cornell notes are great for most use cases, lecture or meeting notes. The only situation where we wouldn't recommend Cornell notes is when you're doing more creative work and require more of a free-form blank page. It's particularly helpful for subjects that are discussion-based or theory-based, including social sciences, media studies, or humanities. And there you have it. Play around with the different note-taking methods to find the best fit for you. Happy note-taking!
So personally, I feel like these note-taking methods are really, really helpful, because then later you can just have a look at them, and you actually refreshes your memory what you actually learned. Okay, then some common mistakes that I would highly recommend to avoid. One thing is obviously skipping classes, because that prevents you from learning the things from your lecturers, because they will explain, they will put some real life examples. And if you just rely on slides because you were absent in the class, then you actually miss lots of insights. Another thing I would like to say that there are always references to some textbooks or learning resources in your course outline. Just here, if you see, I have taken this screenshot from one of the courses at SydneyMed, obviously from IT department. If you look at the weekly activities, we actually have reference to some learning resources like primary textbook. Don't rely only on slides, because the lecturer, they want to put as much information as possible, but it is not possible to actually put everything there. That's why the lecturer actually give the lecture, right? So if you have missed any class, or if you want to do deep learning, if you really want to understand the concept, go to the subject outline, have a look at the weekly activities, what is the reference there, and please check the relevant textbook. That will deepen your understanding so that you can understand the concept much better, and that will reduce your stress, because then you actually mastered the concept and you will not feel like what kind of questions might come in exam, because you already understand the concept. Obviously, we should not study only before exam, and we should not rely on others' class notes. So take your own notes, because that will make you more familiar with the subject matters. Okay, now exam preparation stage. So I am talking about the week 13 preparatory week. You need to be strategic, because throughout the semester you have already learned the core concept. Now it's the time for you to prepare for the exam strategically. Again, refer to your subject outline. Again, I cannot stress enough how important this is. In your subject outline, there are lots of information regarding your learning materials, regarding your assessment details. So if you look at the exam, like this is the final exam, again, screenshot from an IT subject, it actually gives you detailed instruction. What will be the question pattern? What will be the weightage? Like, look here, 6 short question answers, 60%, 3 long answer questions. This will be a closed book, whether calculator will be allowed or not. So you get a lot of idea about the exam format. Identifying the mark distribution, key topics, and then you be strategic about your preparation. But because by the time you already have understanding of the core concept, once you know what kind of questions you are anticipating in your exam, it reduces your stress, because you are much more prepared for the exam. Smart revision techniques. Make use of the prepared lecture note that you have developed throughout, from like starting from week 1 to week 12, because these are your own developed notes. So it is very likely that you can refresh your memory by just looking at those notes, because you yourself prepared those. Focus on understanding concept. I cannot stress enough on this one. It is very, very important. You don't memorize, you understand the concept. Here I would like to share a secret with you. Maybe it's not a secret, we should say open secret. The lecturers, actually, when I mark as a lecturer, I do not expect my students to write word by word from the slide or the textbook. I try to see whether the student has been able to write the keywords or the concept, whether they understood the concept. I don't care about whether you are writing word by word from the textbook. I want to see you have understood the concept. Even if you write in your own words, I am sharing with you, the lecturers will give you very good marks. So don't worry about memorizing. If you have a particular topic that you don't understand enough, if you have any weak area, focus on that. Do active recalling, do self-testing, so that you just test, you read a topic and you test yourself. There are so many resources These days you have AI tool, you can create some potential question based on a topic, and you can just try to answer those questions. Another important thing, avoid excessive study hours. Because you have already studied throughout week 1 to week 12. So don't stress yourself. Take breaks for regular activities like prayers, exercise. Otherwise, if you study for long hours without any break, your situation will be like this guy. He cannot even look at the computer screen because he is so fatigued, he is so stressed. His eyes, brains cannot concentrate. So that's the recipe for disaster that will make you very, very stressed. So we should be very smart in revision. Take breaks, plan it accordingly, do your normal activities at the same time. This is very important. This one, I would like to say, deserves a mention in a single slide because this is very, very important. Night before the exam. This guy, I created this cartoons using Gemini. So this guy thinks he is going to get an HD just by pulling a all-nighter. I can confirm that this strategy doesn't work. If you really want to get good grades, you really need to study throughout the semester. So night before the exam is very, very important. Do not stay up late. You have been studying throughout the semester. Avoid learning new topics. It's not going to work if you try to learn a new topic the night before the exam. You just do light revision. Ensure you have proper sleep. This is very, very important for memory consolidation, memory retention. Otherwise, you will just forget everything. Prepare your exam essentials. Check whether we have pencils, pens, whether the calculators are allowed in your exam, whether it's an open book exam or closed book exam. Prepare accordingly. Be strategic. Exam performance stage. Now we are in stage 3. Physical and mental readiness. This is very important stage as well. Have a proper breakfast, lunch, or dinner depending on the exam time. Bring a bottle of water. This helps stay hydrated. Maintain a very calm mindset. Don't try to learn new things at the time. Use deep breathing if you are very, very anxious. And another important thing, I cannot stress enough on this one. When you come to the exam hall, please do not compare with your preparation with others. There are always some people who will try to say, have you read this one? Have you read that one? Even if you have not read that one, you can't do anything about that at that moment. Don't stress yourself by comparing with others. It's not going to help. Here in this cartoon, you can see they are saying like, oh, have you read that Nike's theorem? I am pretty sure it's going to come to the exam. But if you get stressed and if you just keep thinking about that, there is a good possibility that that theorem will not come up in your exam question. Or there will be options. Maybe you can select 6 out of 7 or 5 out of 7. You may not even need to answer that question. So don't stress yourself comparing others' preparation. That is very, very important. It will make you very, very stressed. Important thing, arrive early on the exam day. Please know where is your exam hall. Think about your seat distribution. Don't be like this guy who is sweating, who is coming at the last moment. The lecturer is just very, very annoyed because the student came very late, and now he will be very, very late in answering his questions as well. So please come early, have a look at your seat distribution in advance, stay calm and composed. You don't need to learn anything new at the last minute. That's not going to help. That's just going to make you stressed. Exam performance. This is an important stage. Like when you are giving your exam, in every exam paper, there will be like this kind of instructions. How many questions you need to answer in section A, section B. Read them carefully. Read the questions. manage time effectively. If you know some questions, answer the easier questions first. Stay focused on your own work. You don't need to compare yourself with the other. It is very important that you make good decisions during the exam. Otherwise, it will just make you stressed. Academic integrity reminder. This is very, very important. Do not try to copy from others. Do not use any unauthorized materials. Just to lighten your mood, I will show you what you should not do. I will just show you a video what you should not do that Mr. Bean is doing.
Cars are cool. Rental cars are not cool. It's cool when you can pick the exact
So
car
bear
you
with me, I
want,
don't
exactly
have
what you
YouTube
want,
Premium.
for exactly what you need. No one needs this. Turo, rent a car, not a rental car.
This is what you should not do, obviously. Not effective techniques, are they? Not working really. So not very effective, and there is always a chance that you will incur the academic misconduct penalties and loss of marks. So that's not really a good strategy. That will just make you stressed, as Mr. Bean was stressed, right? So we should really be very careful about the academic misconduct issues. Post-exam stage, as I said, it is very important. Don't overanalyze your mistakes immediately. There will always be some students who will be doing very, very well, but please do not ruin your following exams, subsequent exams. Obviously, we need to reflect on what mistakes we did, how we can rectify that. But if you keep thinking about that exam, then it might just affect our subsequent exams. As I said, some student may have 3 or 4 subjects in a particular semester. So please keep a positive mindset. Don't be like this student who is just keep thinking about a particular exam and just ruin their following exams. So it is very, very important. So the key takeaway message from this presentation, I would like to say, there are 4 key stages. Pre-exam, week 1 to week 12, study regularly, build concept, and please do not memorize. Exam preparation week 13, prepare strategically. And please, please, please take breaks. Do not do excessive study hours, because that will just bog up your mind and then you will not be able to concentrate on your study. Exam performance, remain calm, arrive at the exam hall early, be strategic, read questions and answer easy questions first. Post-exam, don't overanalyze, reflect, and focus on next exam. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for listening. If you have any comments or questions, I'm very happy to address. Thank you.
All right, so this is the time where you can ask questions to Dr. Arafat. Our dear students, if you have questions, please raise them now. Yeah, you can actually write it on the comments section.
Yeah. Or you can unmute yourself and ask like directly.
I think they cannot unmute Dr. Arafat.
Right. Okay. Yes. Then you can put in the
But
chat box
anyway,
as
yeah,
well.
you can just put it on the chat box if there is. But while we're waiting, that was amazing, Dr. Arafat. It was
Thank
so
you.
insightful and very engaging presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, someone is typing already. So let's wait for Jeff to. I think our Sydney Met students are now exam ready,
Thank you.
hopefully.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. So he is just thanking you. But anyway, Dr. Arafat, thank you so much once again for that very insightful and engaging presentation.
No worries.
This presentation really helped our students understand the importance of managing stress, especially during the exam. And you even mentioned the tips on what to do before, during, and after the examination. So thank you so much. We
No
really
worries.
appreciate it. The practical strategies and clear guidance that you have shared to us and for our CDMAT students. And yep, I think that's it for our webinar today.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you. See
Thank you,
you.
Dr.
Bye.
Arafat. See you.
Bye.